Hello and welcome to my video presentation for RMIT University in Strata Community Management. My name is Sean Smith. I currently work for Strata Gem Body Corporate Managers in Southport, Queensland, as you can see just over my shoulder here. I've been a BCM since June of 2017, and prior to that I actually worked in the hospitality industry for a number of years, ranging from cafes to licensed venues and anything else in between. In today's video presentation, I'd like to share with you some information that I've learned as my short time as a body corporate manager. For anyone who may have heard of body corporate, wasn't quite sure what it meant or what it entailed, or perhaps people thinking of becoming involved with the body corporate as an owner. Hopefully in this short little video presentation I may be able to hit some key points for you and bring up to speed on a few bits and pieces relating to body corporate. So let's get into it. Okay, body corporate. What actually is a body corporate? Well, a body corporate is a legal entity which is created when land is subdivided and registered under the Land Title Act 1994 to establish what's called a community title scheme, or CTS for short. Now, once a community title scheme has been established, this then can allow you to privately own an area of land, part of a building, as well as share common property and facilities with other owners and occupiers. A community title scheme can be made up of two or more lots, ranging from a duplex, a townhouse, a shopping complex, all the way up to a high-rise accommodation building. It's quite vast. Basically, for owners, as soon as you purchase a lot within a body corporate, you become automatic members of that body corporate. So until you sell up and move out, you're 100% involved with that body corporate. So next we'll look at what actually is the body corporate's role. Okay, so what is the role of the body corporate? Well, the role of the body corporate is to administer common property and body corporate assets to the benefit of all owners in line with the body corporate legislation. Now, in Queensland, the legislation governing body corporates is actually the Body Corporate Community Management Act 1997, or BCCM Act 97 for short. It's a light read of 478 pages, and it's a constant reference for us body corporate managers when answering questions for owners or anyone involved with the body corporate. So the body corporate maintains common area, such as shared driveway, your grounds. It also enforces house rules, which are called bylaws. It arranges insurances for both the building and also the common area for public risk liabilities. It also decides the amounts on how much owners should pay year to year running costs to maintain the upkeep of the complex. They also keep records for meetings. They have role details of all owners and financial accounts, just to name a few. So that's essentially what the body corporate's role is. Okay, so following on from the body corporate's role, how the body corporate actually makes these decisions is through the appointed committee members who are elected at each annual general meeting, or AGM, held once a year. Basically, a committee consists of three executive positions: a chairperson, a secretary, and a treasurer, as well as ordinary committee members. Now, this can change depending on what module the complex is stamped under, but for general referencing, that's basically what makes up your committee. Now, where there's an appointed body corporate manager, such as myself, we essentially take on the role of the secretary treasurer. We issue the meeting notice packs, we do the levies, we issue all that. We're basically the administration arm of the complex, but we're not actually involved with the complex per se as far as a voting standpoint. We're a non-voting entity. So, and also too with the committee, basically a committee decision is a decision by the body corporate. They're essentially steering the ship, and whatever they say goes, as long as it's in line with the legislation and keeps all the owners happy on the complex. So in this portion of the video, I'm going to briefly talk about the financials of a body corporate and how they actually raise the funds to keep body corporates ticking over. So in body corporates, they have two funds. They have an administration fund and they have a sinking fund. Your administration fund is like your daily expenditure, your daily running costs, so to speak. So this can include anything from garden maintenance to pool maintenance if there's a pool on site, to cleaning maintenance if there's stairwells or common areas that require cleaning frequently. This also includes your building insurance, as well as any compliance reports that the complex may need from year to year. Now, your sinking fund is for your capital works or your major works that the complex may decide to do down the track. So this could include painting, could include, say, concrete cancer repairs, or could even include a dividing fence. So that's primarily what the two funds are for. You can't swap money from one fund to another. Money needs to be paid into the fund. That's it. End of story. Now, how the body corporate actually gets the money to put into those funds is through what's called levies. So these levies are issued to all owners, either quarterly or half yearly, depending on how the complex is actually set up. And then these levies, then the owners pay the levies, then the levies go into these funds, and then the funds are available then for the body corporate to actually pay for the necessary costs to keep the body corporate running. Okay, so earlier in this video presentation I mentioned about bylaws. Well, in this section I'm going to go one step further and just give you a brief overview of what they actually are. So bylaws, these can be classified as house rules that the body corporate make to control and maintain the common property, any body corporate services or facilities, as well as the use of the lots. Now, the bylaws, they can be found within the document what's called a Community Management Statement, or CMS for short, which is recorded for each community title scheme. Now, with these bylaws, if an owner is found to be disregarding them in any way, shape or form, they can actually be breached, and then further to that, they can actually be issued what's called a contravention notice. So it definitely pays to make sure that they follow up with those bylaws and make sure they're adhering to the rules of the complex. Okay, to finish off what we've been talking about with regards to body corporates, this section is actually just my own personal observations of being a body corporate manager in the short time, the things I've noticed through daily correspondence that I received in our office. Hopefully this pieces of key information may be able to assist people further with becoming more confident in becoming involved with the body corporate. So my key points are, if you are thinking about buying into a body corporate, do a lot search. Definitely there's plenty of companies around that will actually do these. It obviously does cost, but it's worth your weight in gold to get someone in there to have a look at the books and records, how that complex has been managed, whether it's been mismanaged or it's been looked after well. This gives you an idea before actually proceeding ahead with becoming involved with the body corporate. Best to know before you actually get involved. The second thing is, when you actually do get involved with the body corporate, make sure that you seek authorization. Time and time again through emails and all the rest of it, there's been new owners that have come in and just assumed it's the same as having a standalone house, and they go ahead and do works on the complex without reading the bylaws or anything, or are seeking permission or authorization, and then they've, in a world of hurt, they've got to revert back to what the works they've done. So, and it has been a costly expense for them. And lastly, just a general note, for general knowledge out there, and it's more of a gripe for body corporate managers, I'm sure you can relate to this, we are not the body corporate. We're just the administration arm of the complexes. We often get referred to the body corporate, which is understandable because obviously our logo and our business goes out, so people automatically assume we are the body corporate, but we are not. We're a non-voting entity. We just do the financials for the complex and hopefully keep it running. So hopefully you've learned something from this video presentation. I've been Sean Smith, and enjoy the world of body corporate.